Hello, hello, hello. Just tidying my desk here, Hidden Hermit here, and check out this stern fella here. It's the King of Swords from the Waite Smith, and well, I mean, what a presence this person has. A very, I mean, he's looking straight at you, somewhat dispassionately, perhaps. But there is definitely an air of authority about this guy. He is, after all, a king. Just as a just as much authority as the King of Wands, and he's up there. He's gaining on the Emperor almost. So the King of Swords is a very, very stern energy. When we think about the King of Swords, we're thinking about well, first of all, intelligence. Him with the Queen of Swords, they're right at the top of their game. I said gain, but I meant game. Right at the top of their game, they're right at the top of the suit of swords. So you're thinking about intelligence, logic, communication, perception, all those things associated with the mind. And the King of Swords, yeah, he is the epitome of intelligence. He's full of all ideas. He's firm, perceptive and observant, good at communication as well. Now, yeah, now the King of Swords is interesting as well. Now, I have found on more than one occasion, in fact, more than is proportionally, the law of averages falls down when the King of Swords has come up in readings for me. He often signifies a male energy that the amount of policemen that have come up when the King of Swords has come up is quite remarkable. So that idea of justice. Also a kind of a leader. So it could be a military leader, the police, could be a religious leader as well. To be perfectly fair, a leading scientist, a professor, for example, lawyers and judges as well. That the law, I think, is a really important energy when the King of Swords comes up. So many things to think about. He doesn't, not really like actors or performers or things like that, or laborers even. This is all about the mind. It's all about the mind. Now, I'm going to keep him upright, but it's worth to note that the King of Swords can be somewhat dispassionate. He's not the sort of person that allows his emotion and his passion to rule the decisions that he makes, to subvert that calm, fair energy that he expounds. And I say that in a positive sense as well. That's why I've kept him upright at this point. It's a positive energy. It's a positive message to perhaps put your emotions to one side when you're trying to make a judgment or a decision. If you're trying to embody that King of Swords energy, that I think is fair. Yeah, it's an objective. You can't be objective if you're letting your emotions rule you. I think I've articulated that quite well. I believe. So yeah, good energy. Now, if he comes up reversed, however, much like the Queen of Swords, be wary. Be on the lookout for some quite prickly, and I mean that in a literal sense, quite a prickly energy. So when the King of Swords comes up, it could be quite suspicious. Now, that could be a message for the querent, be suspicious of somebody else, or it could be how you deal with the querent's energy. Maybe you should be suspicious of them. Maybe they're being a little bit sly. Maybe they're a little bit of lies going on there, a little dishonesty. So as a tarot reader, you need to look out for that. And indeed, if you're doing a reading for yourself and the King of Swords comes up reversed, you need to seriously ask yourself whether or not you're being honest with yourself. It's profound stuff. It really is. Also, it is a masculine energy. I think that's important to know. Not to sense that the King of Swords can't be applied to a female. Of course not. We all embody different energies from a gender point of view, if you like. However, if the King of Swords comes up reversed, you're thinking about some of the more less desirable masculine energies. So he can be really harsh, bordering on cruel, and dare I say it, almost even evil. And I don't say that lightly as well. I mean, because we're in the Suit of Swords. If it's a reversed or ill-dignified energy, then they know what they're doing. Okay, so that meanness, that harshness is not something that's been blurted out like a reverse King of Wands, for example. It's not something that's been, said in the heat of the moment, out of passion, like the King of Cups perhaps. But this is somebody who knows what they're doing. If he wants to cause harm, he can do, using the power of his words and his mind. So be very, very wary of that. He can also, when it comes out reversed, there is that kind of side element of the Suit of Swords, that idea of authority, military even. I mean, they are swords, they are weapons. So he can be a bit, can even embody a sense of violence, to be honest. So yeah, be very careful. You don't really want to see the King of Swords come out reversed, because you're going to have to be wary of the energies around you, as well as asking yourself those really tough questions, whether or not you're being honest with yourself. What else can I say about the King of Swords? I don't think there's much more I can say about this at the moment. When he's well dignified, he does embody dignity. And despite the fact that he can be a bit dispassionate, that is a lesson that some people might need to take hold of every now and then. Oh, there is one final thing I wanted to say. So astrologically, he is fixed air. So he is associated with the sign of Aquarius, which I think is brilliant. I think that goes really, really well. You've got that sort of Saturnian energy as well. Traditionally, Saturn is the ruler of Aquarius, and this is a mature fella. He's been through his life cycles. He understands that is very good at discipline. Absolutely, much like that Saturnian energy, but he wants to do it for your greater good. If he's upright, not so much if he's reversed, but yeah. So the lessons that he's trying to reach is doing it for your own good, and that is very much an Aquarian and Saturnian energy. So I think it's important. Out of all the astrological associations for the court cards, I think the King of Swords nails that Aquarian energy, really does. So I think now I'm done. So that's the King of Swords from the Waite Smith. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely, calm day.